So this was the 8th edition of the Serendipity Arts Festival at Goa, and it's curated by a lot of eminent artists and practitioners of design. It's a great forum where people from a lot of different fields come together. So you had photographers, you had dancers, you had musicians, you had culinary experts, all of it coming together at one platform. And it's a very rich experience that you get. It's to engage with these various people. So festival goers get an opportunity to engage with them at a sort of a more intimate level, and it's very well curated. I'm Aarti Oberoi. I'm the course leader for communication design at Indian Institute of Art and Design.
I am Anindita Banerjee, and I am L6 student of communication design. So before going to Goa, we were told by the faculty that we are going to do, like, there is going to be a Serendipity Arts Festival, and we weren't given a lot of details. It was like we will be doing some branding, or there are some menu card design that we are supposed to do. So this was the very initial brief that we got. So when we went to Goa, and we were having a lot of conversation with the Serendipity Arts team as well, and through that even we put down some of our ideas, like we can do this, like provide a menu card, we can do a map. So things started generating there also, but initially the brief was of menu card design and branding.
Hi, I'm Muskan Jain, a student of IIED. So when you visit Goa, it is a very, like, it's an image that you have in your head. And then going to these different parts of Goa and covering all the talukas, it was a very interesting experience, because you didn't think of we didn't think of Goa that way. And then when we went there and we had conversations with people, it was actually very nice. And the people over there, the community was very welcoming. Like, you know how you share a meal and then they're very welcoming, and they're talking to you about all their experiences that they've had. So one community lived in a forest reserve, so they showed us how, like, using a remote only, they showed us how they catch crabs and how to spot crabs. So while working with the community, it was a very intimate process, like especially when we were in Goa. Apart from that, we were having meetings every week with the people who we were working with, not the community. But in Goa, it felt very surreal, just talking to these people, collecting their experiences, talking about different things. Like, I remember there was this woman who was a leader of the SHG, the self-help group, and she told her story, and her first buy from the savings of her catering business was a teapot. And it was just some things that were just adding on to our brain, and how we would finally want to perceive this, like we would want to tell their story.
While we were doing this Reiki, we also got to talk a lot with them. Like, there was a lot of conversation, not only with the women but also with the children. And it was interesting to know that how they also look up to their mother and their community, and how they are also so much, they also want to play with the flavors, they want to be in the kitchen, and it's a joyful event for them. Like, for the Garde community, when there is a festival, like, the house is 400 years old, and like their relatives, everyone come there, they cook together, like they cook in clay pot, they present it on banana leaves. So while experiencing those process, it was very interesting, and that also helped us when we came back to Delhi and to build the project on. So very interestingly, like, we thought that there would be a language barrier, but even though there was some pronunciation difference, like some words which might be difficult to understand, but they were trying to help us. Like, they would come and put forward that, and they would also cross check if that's the one that we are talking about or they are talking about. And they was so, like, I remember in the Garde community only, the first day of our Reiki, we went to visit 2 communities, and they presented themselves in their traditional attire. They prepared to welcome the guests, and when we went there, dressed in such beautiful hues. So it was very interesting.
We came back, we used those photographs and whatever information we had collated, and then we tried to, so first we sort of developed an identity for this particular event, because I think it was very important. It was also important because I think like design today has to be co-created. Like the idea was not to just do a branding and just give it to them, but the whole emphasis was on co-creating it together. So we decided that we wanted all the local names of these communities, and sometimes the spellings would vary, so we had experts go over all of that. We marked each of these locations, so the identity was very carefully designed, and it was a bilingual logo because again it was important for the community to connect with this identity, not just us as outsiders and of course the festival goers. And so we did that. Then we had a whole bunch of photographs. So the students started working on illustrations, and we had to identify a style again which was not literal, like it was not like an exact copy, but it had an interesting flavor. So we arrived at a certain approach that really worked, and I think students did close to 200, 300 illustrations. So I don't think they also imagined they would be, the scale of the project was so huge, but it was such a lovely experience.
So we had a couple of ideas in mind when we started the procedure, but like when we started the process, we had this idea also that we would want them to take ownership of their work, so we could get their children involved, but eventually that's like it has its restrictions. But the final outcome that we had was highly illustrative, because we wanted the people who belong to these communities to be the actual faces of the packaging and the branding. We did not want to take away from them. So all the illustrations that Anandita did were also inspired by real people, and the logos, when we did that, we wanted the people who were visiting the festival to actually locate where these talukas are. So using symbols in the logo, we tried placing it on Goa's actual map. So that was basically our process, just giving recognition to these places that deserve it, like their food and the talukas both deserve to be placed on the map.
So I think we took a lot of references from the pictures that we clicked back there. When we came back, we sorted the pictures, and that kind of became one of our guide throughout the project, because we all clicked different pictures from different angle, and we picked few nuances of, suppose there are this kitchen setup, few utensils which we found very unique there. We clicked pictures of those, and when we came back, we wanted to represent the women. We didn't want to be a lot of pomp and show, but the women in their own habitat sort of. So first it was like we explored, for me, like I was exploring the illustrations. So I kind of took inspiration from them itself. Like I took their pictures and I sketched them out. Like that was the first thing that I did, and I sketched them out how they were, their companionship, their this women supporting women, and it's not just women supporting women. It was the men of the house also who supported the women. Like they helped. Like one of the ladies narrated that if the men were not there, then it would they support us, and that's why we are also here standing in front of the crowd. So my process of illustration was the pictures which I took references of, and then I sketched. I also tried using materials of like banana leaves, or incorporating any other which is very natural material which we found in Goa. but ultimately it was like very simple line drawings that we took forward, and using the colors that we found, like within the green, they wore saris with hues of magenta, red, blue. So those became our inspiration.
So we did packaging for them, we did postcards. Those were used as part of the press kits, and I think they were very well appreciated by the press. And in fact, I remember like a lot of people kept asking, where are the postcards? Like, you know, Serendipity is such a huge, like it's like a big mela, and you had students coming from different colleges and they were volunteering, and it was very heartwarming. Sometimes, you know, we would go somewhere and the students would ask us, this is not IID students but students from outside, and they would ask us, oh, are you guys the ones who did the postcards? And those were beautiful, and you know, and we were like, but we haven't seen them. So it was good fun, like hearing it. I mean, knowing that you're doing something good, but also hearing it from other people is nice.
We were working on the flight as well. Like, so when we visited the site, and because the whole Goa was getting dressed up for Serendipity Arts Festival, we could see the Serendipity Arts Festival branding everywhere as we were going, but we were focused on the village that we had specifically worked for. When we went there, we saw that the banners, like there were stalls already set up and they were putting up the banners. Like there were some issues with the printing, but it was when everything was put together on the board and they were putting that up on the stalls, it was really amazing because we worked hard for it, and to see the illustrations actually blending well with the whole venue was something that was really eye-catching. Like, because when we were in college and we were sketching it out or laying it out, then we could not understand how it would react to the nature. But the whole thing, when it came together, even the sunset played an interesting, like a paid actor sort of, because the light and all, it blended really well and it was coming together. So we did anticipate this, but the response is always different from what we anticipate. So yeah, like we were really excited to see like people come and react, like interact with our artwork.
The audience response, as much as we got to know, was they were very interested in how the packaging was done, and it was a nice response we had from them. But the response that really like meant a lot to us who worked on the project was the response of the people who we designed for, right? So one of the women over there, she had her photo on, like her illustration on her board as well, on top of her stall. So she looked at it and she's staring at it for a good 2 seconds, and then she's like, "Ye main hu." And then she was very overwhelmed, and then she was like, "I want a picture with both of you." And it felt so nice to just do that with them, like to have connected with them in this way or to have helped them in any way.
So I think when we were looking at a style, of course, it had to be style that could be easily replicated across, but we didn't want it to be absolutely realistic, because I mean a photograph would have done the job. And those illustrations were really important to draw people in, to get them excited. So it was like the whole storytelling was happening through those illustrations. So we chose a kind of a middle ground, which was neither realistic nor like extremely contemporary, somewhere in between, because it had to have that village flavor. And almost all the illustrations were created using some reference or the other. Like unfortunately in the given time, I mean, you couldn't really go and see every single dish being made. But so we had to have some visual references, and I think like some of the illustrations were so beautiful. Like I can tell you, just looking at them, like you wanted to eat. There was a prawn pickle and I just saw the illustration and you know, you felt like that I have to have that prawn pickle. So that's the experience that we wanted people to also take back. So that's why it was important, to have a style which was somewhere in between and yet conveyed the essence. The love for doing good, like that brought us together. So of course, collaboration was key, but just this thing that we all wanted to contribute together to do some good for the community. I think that was what the essence of the project was.
So the reason why we picked illustrations was because we wanted to tell their story and have their faces on the design. We wanted them also to feel a sense of ownership over their products, and it felt like a very natural process that came out of the Reiki, that having them as the actual characters on the packaging would make much more sense than us making a comic style character or any other character for that example. So all the illustrations did have a sense of the people whose products they were. And that we wanted it to be the hero of the packaging as well, which is why there was not a lot of information apart from the necessary information that goes on a packaging. We really wanted the story of these people to come out of the products also. So we had these thank you cards as well in them, which told the story of the particular SHG that was selling a product, and those little experiences just to build on the facial value of the product, because as a product, of course, it would sell, but that personal touch of them being the people who are also on the packaging just added to it. Basically, the idea was to represent the talukas quite literally and place them on the map for people to notice also that this is the food you're having and this is the area that you're having it from. So, and then the action that is there, it's of the normal salt pinching how you do. So because it was cooking related and you had eatery products, that is why I thought of pinching of the salt is like the basic that we can do.
I think so. For me, it was very liberating when I actually saw those things put up. When I saw the work actually get printed and it's there to be ready to put up, it gives a sense of ownership. And I think so Muskan and I, and even our faculty, Aarti ma'am and Ocean ma'am, we really were very much involved in the project. Like those 2 months, we were working, we were calling each other up to see the progress. So, and we were waiting for that day, specifically the day when it was supposed to put up. So, when I saw that, that was the first thing that was so sparkingly different experience for me, because it was first time that our work is being put up in such a big festival. So that was there. And also like I told you, when people were coming and they were congratulating us for creating this. Even another interesting thing was one of the Serendipity Art Festival's team member, she came and she was constantly saying us how she loves it. Like we created the postcards also, like the postcards went into the goodie bag. Yes, it was actually a very surreal experience, because the postcards were the first thing that we completed, and when they mentioned that is going to the goodie bag, which were supposed to be given out to the VIPs, it was a very happy feeling for us. We were really excited and we were eager to be a part of the festival.
So as part of IIED, I think we do emphasize a lot on bringing live projects into our classroom, and I think this was like just the perfect opportunity for us. And most often we don't have projects that we give final year students, but it sort of tied in very well, and I think it gave them also a lot of exposure to what a real life situation should be. So that like involving life projects is an essential part of our curriculum, and every year I think particularly CD does a lot of these life projects, and there's so much more that you learn, like I mean, we teach them branding, we teach them advertising, we teach them illustration, but when it all comes together, and you also learn the dynamics of collaborating with each other, learning, like thinking on your feet, right? We didn't have a lot of time. The first time we went, it was only over 2 days where we were traveling extensively. Like, how do you constantly think on your feet? And we had to think about what all would we need in the future. So, by the end of the 2 days, we had figured out what we wanted to do. In fact, we had an idea where we wanted to bring the community there, like the children of the community, to sketch out. And we had planned this elaborate competition where kids could contribute, and we were going to use that as part of the branding. Of course, then other dynamics come into play because the duration was limited. But I mean, I think in future also we would be constantly looking for these kind of collaborations, because they give students so much more than what they just learn into the classroom. Like when they apply, then only they understand the challenges that come to it. Like how long does it take to make something? Students would नहीं ये हो जाएगा, इतनी देर में हो जाएगा, but and then they would spend like 2 days. I mean, there was a map that we had done. I don't know how many iterations I got students to do on that map, because it just wasn't right. So, these things are very important, and when you work on life projects, I think that kind of creates that space to allow students to explore, and especially these kind of platforms really give you a scope to push your ideas beyond what you think should be done, but just push yourself beyond that.
It does, because we are allotted a certain time period, and also in the same way life projects also have a different time period, and they also demand their way of like how we are supposed to work on those projects. It's very different because the expectations of the client, there are a lot of people involved in a life project as well, and people give in a lot of input, which can be very different from each other. So understanding all of them and then picking out which one we are going to work on, and also meeting the deadline, because and sometimes work in life project happens very quick, and we don't have time to explore a lot of things. It is like we have to fix on some things very early. So which in a academic project is very different, because there we also have the scope of lot of iterations and ideations. But when it comes to a life project, there is a scope of iteration and ideation, but also there is a time limit. So a life project helps, like it actually helped us to understand like how the industry works and how people expect from when someone is working for them. There are moments where there is a high and a low, but in the end, when we see that our work has been put up and everyone is some people are liking, some people might not like it also, but it's also a part of the experience, and it was lovely to enjoy the biryani at the end.
I think yes, because we're so used to studio projects, we do somewhere forget that there is a real world deadline that would exist once we pass out. So life projects, if anything, the top thing that they do is that they help you understand how the industry works and how these big scale projects works. Like Serendipity is such a big festival, right? And even designing a section of it takes a lot of approvals and back and forth between the other collaborators and us as well. So just life projects help you understand how to pitch better to your clients, how you can make designs that would actually please the client and you as a designer as well?
It was very surprising that I got a call from our faculty saying that would you want to be a part of this festival, and I was like yes, like it was an opportunity that I wouldn't want to miss, and I think so it wouldn't have been possible without IIED, because even going to that place and coming back, there are, as a student we have a lot of thought, like it's a lot of diverged thought that we have, and I think so IIED and our faculties actually help us to bring it together, because when we see a lot of things we get overwhelmed by all these informations, and we tend to lose track of it. So it also happened to us initially, like we were going all over the place, we actually didn't have a direction. Then after exploring and also having conversation with Aarti ma'am and Ocean ma'am, we could bring things together. Like Muskan was working for the branding and the logo, so it was also a lot of like we both were also constantly having conversation, and we could find ourselves diverging and then losing track, and then running to our faculty to bring us together. So it was a lot of diverging, converging, but I think so without IIED we wouldn't get this opportunity. So really grateful for the opportunity.
Are very important to get a hold of. Like the more you work with people in real life other than studio project, it helps you. And the faculty that was with us, they were a constant part of the process. So we had entire days of sitting with them and rebutting designs, just having conversations through and through. We made a design, we show the design, and then we get feedback. So all in all, it was a very effective process, and it also helped us understand what we like to do as individuals, especially because we will be graduating. It does help us understand how to go in the field that we want to go to. So IIED and the faculty have been a big support in that sense, that they've been a part of the process equally with us and helping us throughout. And as much as they've helped us, they've also given us the space to give our ideas, share what our thoughts are on any design. Like even if there's some feedback, rebutting, then it wasn't ever like we had to be scared of the faculty to share what our thoughts were. So it has been a very supportive and a very welcoming process from IIED's end as well.
And do you think these live projects let you understand and work out their vision?